Okay, so let's talk about the Snooks Eaglin version now. He's playing electric guitar with bass and drums, and he's using his fingers. But everything he does with his fingers you can do with the pick. So I'll just do it with the pick because it's just some great stuff you can integrate into any kind of 12-bar blues playing right away. First he starts off, he does this cool introduction. And he does this really cool chord. The lick itself is this G pentatonic stuff, starting at the 5th fret of the 5th string and crossing over to the 4th fret of the 4th string and then 5th fret, and then going back and forth between the 5th and 3rd frets of the 4th string. So he's got this cool major 7th in there, which doesn't really belong, but either did it by mistake and it was live and everything's cool, or he did it on purpose because it sounded neat. And the chord he hits is this. It's going from the 5th fret on the 5th string, then the 3rd fret on the 4th string, 4th fret on the 3rd string, and then 5th fret on the 2nd string. And what it is it's a kind of G chord. It's a G13. If you think of a bar chord, then you make a 7th chord, then you forget about the low string and the high string, and then you put your pinky down on the 5th fret of the 2nd string to get your 6th or 13th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's called the 13th instead of the 6th because you've already got the 7th in the chord as well. That's the voicing. So it's related, I guess, to, let's see. Yeah, sort of. Anyway. It's a G13 chord, and he uses it when he goes into his solo, in the second chorus of his solo, which is the other thing we'll take apart in the rest of this lesson. He uses it up here as a C13. And it's really cool because then his 1 chord is a good old G9, the James Brown chord, 3rd fret on the top 3, 10th fret on the top 3 strings with your ring finger, and then index finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string and middle finger on the 10th fret of the 5th string. So there's his 1 chord. Here's his 4 chord, our new voicing, 10th fret, 8th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret on the middle 4 strings. So in that intro, and then he hits a good old G bar chord, and then a D7 sharp 9. The purple haze chord, of course. So that's this intro. And then he goes into the tune, he sings, he plays, he solos for a chorus, and his second chorus does this incredibly cool stop time thing where he starts he starts on the 1 chord, and so he takes this one phrase, this major pentatonic lick, and he answers it, he plays it 4 times basically, and answers it every time with a chord hit. So in context, it sounds like this. So what's going on is, like I said, the first 8 bars are all this call and response. He plays a lick and he answers it with a chord 4 times like this. So the first lick, he's coming out of, this is the root G, and so it's all this B.B. King, Allman Brothers, major pentatonic territory. And so the first lick, they're all phrased as pickups, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, da 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 da, downbeat of the next chorus. So he starts by sliding into the 10th fret on the 3rd string, and then crossing over to the 8th fret on the 2nd string, then hitting the 10th fret with his ring finger and bending a whole step, and back down to the 1st finger, cross back over to the 9th fret on the 3rd string, and back to the 1st finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. That's the basic lick. And again, it's a little bit like that intro, it's a little quirky. He slides into the 10th fret, the 7th of the scale, and then comes back to the 6th of the scale, which is more the major pentatonic thing. And then he hits a big G9 chord. And then the lick again, now it starts from the 1st fret here. So he starts with the, sorry, I keep saying fret when I mean finger. 1st finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string, up to the 10th fret, full step bend, hold it while you get the pinky in on the high string, 10th fret. So you gotta hold that bend up, and then hit the high string. It helps if you tilt your head and make that face. And then hit the bent note again and release it quickly to the 1st fret. Oh, I did it again to the 8th fret, 1st finger, over to the 3rd string and back. Okay, that's the first 4 bars. Next time, exactly the same, except that he hits the double stop. He hits both notes when he hits the 10th. When he hits the 10th fret on the high string, he hits the bent note again, and then comes back. And then he hits the C13 chord, our funny voicing. 10th fret, 8th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret on the middle 4 strings. So that's. And then one more time. So that's the first 8 bars. And then it's the turnaround. The chords go to D and he goes down to the minor pentatonic at the good old 3rd fret. To play that lick, which comes in like so it anticipates the D chord. And what he's doing is he's pulling off twice from the 6th to the 3rd fret on the high string, then pulls off 6th to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and then high string, 3rd fret, 6th fret on the 2nd string, pull off to the 3rd fret, then over to the 3rd string, 5th fret, and back to the 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So think of it as that, and then all of that. Only fast. It's a D chord or a D9, I can't remember. And then another pentatonic lick. So he's doing a little half steppy bend, pre-bending it, so pushing up the note, picking it, and then releasing it, starting from 5th fret on the 3rd string, probably pulling off to the 3rd fret, 5th fret, 5th fret on the 4th string, 3rd fret on the 3rd string, and then pulling off 5th fret, 3rd fret on the 4th string, over the 5th fret on the 5th string, and then just blues licks there. So basically working out of a G shape there, 4th and 3rd strings, 5th fret on the 2nd and 3rd strings, D7 chord. So the whole thing in slow motion. cool, I think. And just a great idea that you can use in any kind of blues context, that when you're soloing, instead of just playing single note, single note, single note, it gives this great shape to what's going on. And you can do this kind of call and response thing on any kind of shuffle or straight eights blues kind of thing, anything where you've got this sort of mood going on. So check out both those approaches, both J.B. Lenoir and the Snick Sieglin, and we'll see you next time.